Allen Orr joins me now from Eagleville, Tennessee. He's the former president of the American Immigration Lawyers Association and founder of the Orr Immigration Law Firm. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Allen, the Biden administration claims their policy provides new pathways, but also will prevent a rush at the border when Trump's Title 42 expires in May. Critics, though, say that this is illegal and just as restrictive as the previous administration. What do you make of it?
So that's true. It's just as restrictive as the former administration, and the ACLU announced today that they would be suing in court on the same grounds that it was defeated under the Trump for the transit bans. I think the president is in a very tough position in that he doesn't have partners with Congress to sort of actually reach or try to find solutions to controlling the influx of immigrants showing up at the southern border. The Biden administration has taken a different posture and has put some new things in place, such as the humanitarian parole program that will help individuals, but it does not address those individuals that are coming to the southern border by foot. And this doesn't apply to all asylum seekers, in a sense. It just applies to mostly people who are coming to the southern border. People can still fly in and apply for asylum, and that's the equity issue that a lot of us from the immigration world are sort of discussing.
I want to ask you about the processes the administration wants to put in place. For example, much is being said about this app that is in existence, but they will use the app for people to make appointments at a U.S. entry point. Talk to us a little bit about that and the, I guess, the trouble that people will have with this if they don't even have a phone or, internet connection or whatever.
I think. Yeah, it's a fiction, right? I mean, in the United States, there are areas where we have dead internet, right? So just imagine migrants coming from different countries who are trying to migrate a system in another country where they have weak Wi-Fi, or currently the storms that are affecting the weather control, and to even have a phone that works. A lot of these things are taken for granted because we're Americans and we think everybody has a phone and everybody has access to internet, but that's just not the way the world works right now. In addition to that, the app doesn't recognize dark skin. So a lot of black and darker immigrants are having a problem because it won't do the face recognition on them. That's a problem of the developer of the app. And that's not something that we've just seen in immigration, but across the board. When the developer doesn't develop the system so that it accommodates all complexions, then those complexions are left out of the facial recognition and therefore makes it difficult for them to sort of get to the border. So one, having a phone. Two, having stable access to the internet and knowledge of being able to do it, because it has just recently been put into Creole or any of the other Spanish dialects that aren't the common Spanish. And so all of those things prohibit people from applying for asylum. And most importantly, it's against the current laws that we have that Congress has passed and our international policies. If Congress wants to change the way immigration is handled, then Congress should pass a bill. And the most important thing in this space we should understand is that our border policy shouldn't be about keeping people away. It should be about the dignity of life. That's why asylum exists.
What are you hearing from other immigration attorneys and asylum seekers trying to navigate all of these changes happening right now? What are you hearing?
Well, I'm hearing, attorneys are in a disarray anyway because the equities between the different groups. But more importantly than that, if you're from China, you can just fly in. If you're not, then you have to do these other systems. How do you advise people every day? And the most important thing is most of the people who are coming to the border, 1% of them have attorneys that they're able to talk to. So it's really not as if the system is sort of set up to educate the individuals about their options. It's pretty much a catch-22 to say that when you do arrive here, after months of devious, hard travel through the Darien jungle, that you will then be denied and turned away because you didn't do it the appropriate way. And as I say all the time, there's no appropriate way to leave a burning building.
Allen Orr, great to see you again. Thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate it.